just need to get a towel. Just think about this. Hey everyone, it's Willow here. I am heading on down for a swim to realign the senses after being in front of the laptop for an extended period of time. And I thought I would talk in a little bit around the importance of playing in the game of our purpose and high sensory abilities. For instance, how did I manage to go from living in the UK, working in jobs that didn't fulfill me, to now making a shift into being free, doing the work that I absolutely love, and traveling around the world, experiencing life as I always wanted to. So whilst I prepare to go for a swim, I will begin to talk into that. First things first, in order to be able to start living the life that we really want to live, means that the pain of not living the life that we want to live has to become strong enough in order for us to begin to take action. That has to be the starting point. Once we're actually in that realm of self, so in other words, okay, I am now willing to do whatever it takes to understand what my purpose is and how I can build a business and a lifestyle around the work that I really want to do. That's all well and good, but the trouble is with figuring out our purpose is that, or the trouble with coming to know the area that we should build a business in can only be discovered through the practice of being in that arena. And we have to create the circumstances in order for us to be able to piece the breadcrumbs together, or to be able to start to experience and witness ourselves in action. I've talked about that before, but there's a different piece that I'm going to talk about in just a second. So here we have bag. These waterproof bags, by the way, just as a little, when you see these in the shops, you think, is this actually waterproof? Well, a couple of months ago, I jumped off a boat in order to swim to the shore, because it wasn't possible to get the boat close enough to the shore, but just because of for reasons that made it wasn't possible. I couldn't beach the boat. The boat had to be anchored. So then I had to test this bag to see if it was actually going to be waterproof, and it was amazing. I had all my my phone's not so bad because obviously our phones are waterproof now, but I had my clothes in it and wallet and all that stuff. And I just tried it. And these bags are completely waterproof. It floats, obviously, because it's got air in it. But the way this thing folds down and clips in, and then this does that, and I just wore it on my back, and I dived in and I swam to the shore, and then when I opened my bag, everything was as dry as a bone. It was astounding. I found it to be a very fulfilling experience. So yes, if you're ever considering one of these bags, they do work. So the period of being in the wrong jobs and feeling so frustrated and so driven to want to be truthful to myself. And there was also a great deal of wanting to validate myself because of the self-rejection that I felt and because of the trauma that I experienced. I was driven partly by that, and actually I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that adds to the fuel that makes the pain so difficult for us. In other words, we're so driven to want to make change because we just cannot put up with the shame of feeling not good enough. Now, there has to be a shift that comes around that, because we can't be driven by that forever. In other words, we have to get to a point where we realize that is a driving factor, but that's a fear-based driving factor. And there's another video to make about that. But the piece that I just want to say around this process of coming from a place of knowing that there's more, and knowing that as an HSP, there is this incredible ability that we know at an innate level that is here to bring great service in the world, that serves this greater calling in our hearts to want to make change in whatever area of life that truly resonates for us. My experience of walking that path has been a continuous alignment with who I really am, which has meant letting go of the bits that are in the way of that. But in order to be able to do that, we have to create the circumstances around us so we can see what our gifts are designed to do. And that can only be done through practice. We've got to be in the arena of our gift in order to truly understand how it works. We can't think that piece into action. In my trusty wetsuit shoes that I find incredibly helpful, especially when there are sea urchins in the sea that whilst they only reside in super clean water, which is always a good sign, it is a nightmare if you step on one. So I tend to wear these in the sea. And in order to get them on, it's actually much easier to wet them. When the temperature is 170 degrees, it's not 170 degrees, it's 42. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but it's super hot. But anyway, when you run the hose, I have to be careful because the water's really hot, so putting these on can be a little alarming if one's not careful. So here I am down at the swimming spot. I have found this rather glorious place here that has much more sea life when I'm snorkeling, because nobody's here. So I had to move to a cooler location. I actually had to wait until it cooled down because the phone kept overheating as I was recording. Over the years, when I have been training and working with high sensory people, and it was exactly the same process for me as well during my own training, is that the greatest breakthrough we have as HSPs is suddenly realizing that the way we see the world and how we see and process more deeply into a particular area of life has a function that's hugely important to us and provides great service in the area of life that really matters to us. And that's how we truly reveal our value, and when everything starts making sense for us. The trait's not about struggling with overwhelm and just managing the fact that we're sensitive. All of our senses are designed for a particular purpose, and they operate in a very specific mechanical way, if you like, in order to be able to operate and provide a service and to ultimately to reveal a purpose of what we're actually here to do. But the trouble is that is only 10% of the experience. Even though that's a huge breakthrough, we have to then bring that into action in order for us to be able to understand the meaning of it and how it works, and actually build a relationship with it. So again, I do talk about this quite regularly, but I can't say this enough. And in this particular piece, what I really want to express is how we can actually begin to change our lives as HSPs when we really begin to implement and own our gift and ability and build a relationship with it. So just as a very quick analogy, if you imagine you knew a professional tennis player who wasn't aware that they were very good at tennis and they were working in a cafe, you could talk to them and even take them, out and put a racket in their hand and put a ball in their hand, and something, there's this awareness, is like, wow, this is actually what I'm supposed to be doing. Until you get them on the court and you get an opponent opposite them that matches their ability, they're not going to understand the capacity of their gift and really the purpose of their gift. So for us as HSPs, we have to go through the process of revealing, or going through a facilitation of the ability being revealed to us, or us revealing it through us in the right type of facilitation. But then we have to get into the game of what our gift actually does. We have to practice and witness for ourselves how it focuses and how it sees what it's designed to see, and how it helps to create change and transformation in others around us, in whatever circumstance that may be, in whatever area that may be. That there's a point to the way in which you see the world as an HSP. So once we get that, once we start to build the path of experiencing and witnessing that, that's when we can really start to create the life that really matters to us, because then we're in alignment with the cause in our hearts that really matters. And then we're able to engage our ability to start to work in that area. And that's when we can create a business around it. That's when we can start to really take control of our lives. That's when we can really start to engage our services into the world and be rewarded for that. And truly embrace the truth of who we are, and really enjoy the benefits of that. And that's what I hope for you more than anything, is to take that path. If the pain in you is so strong that you cannot bear being under someone else's agenda, or you can't bear the feeling of not being true to yourself, and that you're in the wrong line of work, and there is a huge drive in you to want to figure out what's possible for you, to be able to embrace the business that you really want to create, whatever area that is, even if it's within a career, within a business, within an existing organization. The opportunity that there is to align with this ability, align with the truth of our gift, to align with the cause that really matters to us in our hearts. And then we can start to live the life that we really want to live. And this is what I want to illustrate this to you and share this with you, that it's possible, that I've done that myself. My clients are doing this, that I have been able to come away from a life that wasn't serving me, circumstances that weren't serving me, and to create a business around this gift and ability that it now allows me to live the life that I have always wanted to live. But it only came through the experience of witnessing my gift in action. None of it made sense whilst I was trying to figure that out in my head. I had to get into the arena of where my ideal clients were, of where my gift actually reveals itself to me and does the work that it's designed to do. And then everything changes. Everything. Thank you for watching. Looking forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.